Okay, today for math, we are going to learn about division. Last week we learned about multiplication, so this week we are going to learn about division, and we are going to start off by watching a brain pop.
All right, you goons, we did it. We got away with three of the biggest capers in history. When we get back to the hideout, we'll divvy up the loot, and we'll all be rich. Rich, I tell you. When we're through, boys, we'll all be driving new Packards and listening to the biggest radios they make. Okay, first order of business. Let's divide the loot from the first job. Hot diggity, just look at all that ice. We got diamonds, 20 of them. Now let's see, there was 4 of us participated in the heist. Crusher, Bruiser, Moby, and me. If we divide things up equally, we each get... Wait a second, how do we divide 20 diamonds evenly among 4 people? Well, yeah, we need to use division to figure it out. Division is basically the splitting of large numbers into equal groups of smaller numbers. In our case, we're trying to divide our loot in between the 4 of us so that we have an equal share. Well, in division, all these numbers have special terms. The number being divided is called the dividend. Here, the dividend is 20 for our 20 diamonds. The number you're dividing by is called the divisor. Here, the divisor is 4, since we have 4 people. And the answer you get is called the quotient. Our quotient is 5. So each of us gets 5 diamonds. Holy mackerel, 15 gold coins. Pretty soon we're all going to be dancing to Lindy Hop on the Queen Mary. Now let's divide them up. What's up, little Jimmy? Okay, fair is fair. You tipped us off this big score, so we'll divide these coins up 5 ways. Now let's see. How many times can we divide 15 by 5? Yep, you got it. We can divide 15 coins into 5 groups of 3 coins apiece. And you can check your answer by multiplying the quotient by the divisor. If your answer is the dividend, you've done it right. Let's see, 3 times 5 equals 15. Yep, we've got it. That's because division is sort of like the opposite of multiplication, in the same way that subtraction is the opposite of addition. And now for the last part of the haul. 21 pocket watches. Why, we'll be taking flappers to the automat until... Ooh, cheese it, guys, it's Lieutenant Rita. I mean, we just acquired these 21 lovely watches. And since there's 7 of us, including you and Sergeant Cassie, we could, divide the loot 7 ways. Let's see, 21 watches for 7 people. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So that's 3 watches apiece for each of us, including you 2. Oh, why did I think I could get away with this? Becoming a 1930s gangster was a really bad career choice. Of course, it could work for Halloween.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. If you have your Orange Origo book, your Stepping Stones book, we are on page 192 right now. Okay, so it says using division language. Look at this picture of fruit. So right here we have some apples, we got some pears, we got some strawberries, and over here we have 3 bears. Okay, maybe the baby, the mama, and the papa. Which fruit could you equally share among the 3 bears without cutting any pieces, and how do you know? It also wants to know how many apples will each bear receive, and it also wants to know how many pears will each bear receive. Which fruit cannot be shared equally, so that means one of these 3 is not going to be able to be shared equally, and it wants to know how many will be left over. So I have created, I know you remember that from last time, I've created this Word document. I know it doesn't look exactly like that picture that we just saw in our Origo book, but it's the best that I can do. Okay, so let's go to the first question. The first question says, which fruit could you equally share among the three bears without cutting any pieces? So which one of these fruits can each of the bears have the exact same amount without me having to give one half or two halves or something like that? So we have our three bears over here. So here's one way that we could do this. I know you guys you probably don't have your books with you, but so just watch how I'm going to do it on the computer. So we'll have my apples. We'll start with the apples first. I'll start off by giving each bear one apple. And you want to keep giving each one until you run out of apples. There was 12 apples altogether. Let's do another. Sorry, I know this was a little messed up. All right, so we started off with 12 apples. We decided to keep giving each bear one apple till we ran out. We are all out of apples. There are no more apples. If we look, if you count how much each bear has, I want you to tell me, do they all have the same amount? Take a second and count real quick and tell me if they all have the same amount. I counted that each bear has 4. So that means that they were able to get an equal amount of apples. So one of our questions was, how many apples will each bear receive? Well, each bear will receive 4. Okay? Okay? The next one wants to know, how many will each pair receive? Exact same thing this time, but with the pairs. So we start off by giving each bear one pair at a time until we are all out of pairs. And hopefully they can all get the same amount. Equal amount, and each one was able to receive 5. Now if we look at the strawberries, okay, so if we look at our strawberries, we see that all of them have 6, but we still have 2 left over because there was a total of 20. So that means that 20 cannot divide into 3 equally. Okay, so the strawberries would have been the fruit that the bears cannot get equally an equal amount of. And we will have 2 left over. So that answers all of our questions for the top. Okay, so our first question says there are 12 apples in total. There are 3 bags. There are blank apples in each bag. So first I want to know how many bags there are. There's 3 bags. So I drew 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. There are 12 apples total. So that's how many apples I'm going to draw at the top. Now I have to put 1 apple in each bag until I have gotten rid of all my apples. So let's go through and put 1 in each one. So that's going to be here. I can cross that out. 1 here. I can cross that one. 1 here. Then I go back to the first one. Another one here. Cross it out. And I'm crossing them out so that I don't put more than 1 at a time. I don't lose count. So how many circles or how many apples do I have in each bag? Remember, my lines represent my bags. The circles represent the apples. How many do I have in each bag? So my answer here would be 4. Okay, This one says there are 18 eggplant in total. There are 3 plates. There are blank eggplant on each plate. So first, we're going to start off with how many are we trying to separate these into equally, which is the number at the bottom. So that would be 3. So over here, I'm going to draw my 3 plates. 1, 2, 3. Then there's 18 in total. Now, instead of drawing 18 out and crossing them out as I go, I'm just going to count until I get to 18. So I'm going to say 1, 2, I'm just going to put lines this time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, if you count, it should be an equal number on each plate. So count and see how many are on each plate. And this should be a line. So there should be 6 on each plate. So our answer here would be 6. Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then I want you guys to show me what you know for the rest of the ones on pages 192 and 193 in your Oracle books. And I'm also going to upload the worksheets on your Google Classroom so that you can work them from there too. All right, so this one says there are 20 eggplants in total. There are 4 plates. It wants to know how many eggplants are on each plate. So we always have to start with which number? We always start with the smaller number, the one that's going to tell us how many groups there are going to be. So they're going to be 4, so I'm going to draw my 4 lines. 1, 2, work with me, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm just going to give each one 1 until I get to our number up here, which is 20. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, let's count how many is in each one. So I got 5 in each one. So there are 5 eggplants on each plate. Okay, so here is how the rest of your pages that I'm going to have you work on is going to look. So this is what we were just working on. We did the first 2 together, but I still want you to do them again. This is how the second page is going to look. This is exactly the same thing. It just looks different. So this already has the groups drawn out for you. You just have to put the number in there. So this one already has the 3 packs. You just have to count out 12 and then write how many was in each one. Okay? This one says, Samaru needs to share these marbles among 5 friends, not 4. How can he share the marbles so that each friend will have the same number? So right now he has it among 4. So what you're going to have to do is count how many marbles all together and then equal them out between each bag. Okay, guys, so this is on page 196. It's just more practice. This is exactly the same thing that we did last time. The one that I wanted to go over for this one on this page, though, looks like this. So it says 20 dinosaurs dance in equal groups. How many groups could there be? How many would be in each group? Write numbers to complete possible answers. So the first one would be that there could be one group with all 20 dinosaurs. The next one we can maybe, let's try 2 groups. So I could also see the next number I can try is 2. 2 comes after 1, so I can try 2. So of course, I would have to start off with my groups. 1 group, 2 groups, and then I would have to count until I get to 20. So you go all the way until you get to 20. Now I know that would make 10 over here and 10 over here because 10 plus 10 is 20. So then I would have 2 groups with 10 in each group. So then the next number I could try would be 3, and then 4, and then 5. Now let's say that you get to a number and it's not an equal amount, you have some leftovers like we did with the strawberries earlier. Then that means that you can't write that down. That means you have to go to the next number. Okay, so we already did 1. I just did 2. Try 3 next, 4, 5, until you can fill in the next 5 boxes on this sheet. Okay, that is it for our lesson today. If you have any questions, please make sure that you get in touch with me, and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. All right, see y'all next time.